Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I'm Basil Barrington, and we are back with episode number 2 of Loki, Breaking Brad. That's a pretty, they just play, did the whole Breaking Brad thing. This is pretty cool.
Yeah,
IMDb gave this an 8.2. What do you think about that rating?
I think that's fair. It's setting you up for a bunch of good stuff in the future, but not quite. So
Yeah,
you got to hope for it. Like that's basically what it is. You got to hope
yeah.
that he's gonna come around eventually.
This is it this episode, even the first episode, but the story is really good here. I mean, I don't have a problem with the story. What do you think?
Mhm. No, I thought the story is good. Like they had the issue with the timeline,
Hmm.
and so that general crazy looking lady, she pruned it. She's from Game of Thrones. She
Docs.
got rid of a
General
bunch of
Docs.
these outlines. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So I mean, anything's possible. What's going on next? I don't know what's happening here because like the was it Ob? He had an issue with the timeline. He said
Hmm.
timeline's about to destroy everything, and she got rid of a bunch of stuff with the timeline. So she kind of helped him, but she's still locked out.
Yeah, he's locked
They
out.
need missed minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's setting you up for a bunch of stuff. That's what I felt like. More than
Hmm.
anything else, it felt like just because it's only what 6 shows in
That's it.
total.
6 episodes,
Yeah,
man.
I don't I don't like the idea of setting you up for a 6 episode season. I feel like just go.
Yeah.
Don't build it up. Just go. Get into it.
And
You got 22 episodes, then you can build up stuff. You got time.
yeah.
But 6, you gotta go.
I think if you're going to do 6 episodes, like in Europe, it's 4 or 6
Mhm.
episodes,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. But, BBC, they do, like, 4 episodes.
Yeah.
They're, like, hour and a half long, like,
Right,
just
exactly.
insanity.
So exactly. So I think like in America, like in North America, if you're going to do 6 episodes, and they do that a lot, like they'll give you 14 episodes in
Mhm,
the season, but then break it up. I think that if you're going
mhm.
to do that, if it's going to be 12 episodes, give us six now, and like, six maybe like 8 months later. Don't wait like a year and a half, 2 years to give us the other 6 episodes. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know, it feels like this is like a movie almost, like, the in
Yeah.
the size and scope, and
Hmm.
each episode, like, 45 minutes or whatever, 50 minutes, so I feel like you should just get into it and tell your story as good as you can. But, like, I liked it, though. It's like I didn't like it. I
Yeah.
did like it. I think it's interesting, and everybody agrees that Loki's a compelling character, and everybody likes what he's doing in the show. No
Hmm.
one complains about his acting. No one complains about him being there, like he's phoning it in. So I think there's quality here. They just gotta deliver.
That's a very good point. Do you think that Loki would have been better as a movie on Disney Plus or like episodic like it is?
I think originally that was the plan, and then they just said, "Screw it. We'll make a TV show out of it, and you keep you
Hmm.
here for 6 weeks,
Yeah.
and then you go
So
do
like
your
basically
theater
you
acting, whatever you're
right.
doing."
So basically you have to pay for 2 months just to watch Loki. That kind of sucks, doesn't
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it? It's just a
yeah.
money grab and whatnot, man. Um,
Yeah.
let's get into it, man. Sylvie is kind of interesting. She's a little bratty, but I still like her character.
Mhm.
And it's so interesting that she's now working at McDonald's. This chick is working at McDonald's,
That's a
like
highlight. Working at McDonald's.
serving shakes up a quarter pounder. Someone pointed out that, I thought a quarter pounder was Burger King. Actually, the quarter pounder is McDonald's. So pardon that.
Mhm,
But yeah, so she's there, and it's just like, wow, you had, when they were at the McDonald's, you had Mobius, X5.
mhm.
X5 is interesting. He's actually
Yeah, he's an
pretty interesting,
actor.
right?
He's a acclaimed actor doing
He's an
his
actor,
the
act on a
enhanced
sacred
theater.
timeline.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. So that's like so what is the sacred timeline anyway?
I think that's the main timeline, the official timeline that everybody agrees upon,
Hmm.
and then they're pruning all the other stuff. So, it's a factor for sure, like, what can be on the sacred timeline and what can't be,
Hmm.
because 'cause they're just deciding, like, there's no we've realized that there's nobody in charge. They're just winging it right now, and people are going to work because they go to work.
Hmm.
They're not they're just supposed to go to work. They haven't thought about what they're doing or why, because the whole thing should fall apart already,
Yeah.
but it isn't because everyone's still doing their job because they feel like they need to do their job, which
Hmm.
is interesting. But
So
yeah.
when Loki's in the TVA, he has no powers,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I think this is the first time in the show that you've seen Loki's real powers.
Right,
Like
exactly.
Loki's a
You know, you
beast.
saw his
That's the
horns, the whole
point. Like
nine.
Loki is a beast. He's not a bum. Like he's way stronger than the humans. He should be throwing people around and using magic and stuff like that. They
Yeah.
can't use it inside the building. Like, apparently, they
Hmm.
got magic blockers or something. But like he is a monster. Like as far as when he's in the real world, I think it's the first time they really showed like he can do stuff,
Yeah.
which is I mean, I as far as a
Excuse me.
TV show about a guy who could do stuff, the fact that you waited till season 2 to be like, "Hey, he's got powers, he can do things." I
Hmm.
don't understand that. That don't make no sense to me because
Yeah.
they've severely nerfed him. He's
Yeah.
given Thor a run for his money as far as power goes in the MCU, not in comic books, but like
Right. Hmm.
so for you to be like this guy that handled God of Thunder and now he's just wimpy and regular people are throwing him around. That I don't like that at all. Let Thor let Loki cook. All right, these guys powerful. Let him cook. Mhm.
His powers didn't really come out. You didn't see his horns. You
He
didn't
never
see
used
any
his
of that.
powers.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. This guy can jump around. He could do tricks. He could do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He's strong. He's not a weakling.
Yeah.
He's strong.
Hmm.
He's from the ice giants or whatever, frost, whatever. Yada yada yada. He's powerful. Put it like
Yeah.
that.
Wow, that's crazy, man. X5 is a really interesting character. I
Mm,
guess he was, you know, General Doc said, "Hey, go find Sylvie. We'll kill
mhm.
billions of people." That's literally what they did.
Trillions. Like
Trillions.
they're killing timelines. No, more than that because they're killing timelines of the universe, isn't it?
Hmm.
Or is it just they can't? You can't kill a timeline of Earth only. This is a timeline of the universe. So
Dude,
they
like,
got to be killing
yeah,
gazillions of people. Whatever's above trillions,
yeah,
that's what would be they'd be killing in the universe
yeah.
because it's not
B-15,
just Earth.
yeah, B-15 was like, she's killing billions of people.
It's got to be way more than billions.
Yeah.
It has to be.
So, okay, so if she like destroyed all these timelines,
Mhm.
the timeline still isn't like it's still not good because OB can't open the blast doors and can't do what he needs to do to make everything proper. So,
It's gonna happen again,
mhm,
basically.
yeah.
Like this is the divergent thing's already on his timeline. So
Hmm.
no matter what, there's gonna be splits in the thing, and it's gonna happen. But it's gonna happen faster than it did before. Because they were
Right.
dealing with we got one thing today, Tuesday we got another one. Like it was like nothing before, but
Hmm.
now it's got all the branches are going off at the same time. So
Yeah.
they need more use to they got more work to do. Put it like
Yeah.
that.
So what was really interesting about how they were destroying the different timelines is, like in the last episode, all the military people, all the hunters got together, went through these time doors, and then they had
Mhm.
these like little grenades or whatever they were. So one
Yeah, it
person,
just kills the timeline. Yeah,
yeah, one
one thing
person
for
was
one
going through a
person.
time door with this little bomb and killing billions of people. And I'm just like, they were
Yeah.
going in, you know, 10 seconds later, they were coming back, coming out. And I was like, wow, this is really quick. Um,
Mhm.
so, and then, once the crew, Loki, Sylvie, and who is it? Morbus, right?
Mhm.
Mobius. Once they found where Docs were, they kind of used their powers to destroy everything. That was kind of cool. It was just like this is the, what I
Mhm.
like about this. What I like about Loki is I'm just into like really good storytelling, and it has this is really good in terms of the writing. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So,
you
like,
know,
it's got the potential to be a really dope show
yeah.
or just okay show. Like,
Hmm.
it's got the potential to do both.
Right.
And, I like the concepts.
Hmm.
I think that's the key part about it, like, the
Yeah.
concepts of
The
time
concepts
travel.
is really
I
cool.
like all that stuff. They gotta be careful, though, because, you put yourself in a time loop and you gotta box yourself into a corner
Yeah.
if you don't tell the story right. Like, you gotta be real careful about it.
Hmm. I
But,
think
yeah, overall, I like it.
yeah, I
Overall.
think something that was really super funny and interesting in this episode was when Morbius and Loki were hungry. They were hungry and they went
Mhm.
into, this place to get some pies.
Mhm.
This was like I watched this documentary about automats. This is something like, again, I was telling you about this, like when I was younger, my mother used to take me to like Macy's and Bamberger's back in the day, and we would go to
Mhm.
these automats, and I was like, a very young boy, like, what is that? You can put money in, get coffee, the whole nine. This was an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
automat of nothing but pies. It
Like,
was
how
nothing
big is the
else.
TVA? Is TVA on a planet? Like, how big is this place?
Well,
It
it's
looks
weird.
enormous.
It looks, because when you're looking out the window into the rest of the TVA,
Yeah,
man,
yeah, yeah. It looks
you know,
enormous.
it looks like it also has levels to it too. It's almost like, we talk about this all the time when you have these like really cool
Mhm.
sci-fi worlds, and it seems like at
Mhm.
the very bottom of this world is where all the crazy stuff happens, and it looks like they
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that here
yeah,
too. And I'm just like, this is a pretty big world, like you said, man. So wait a minute, is it? Wait a minute.
yeah.
Is so Jonathan Majors will appear like multiple times, like, twins, triplets,
He's in this season. He's in this season. So I don't
I
know. I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but the other thing too is he's gonna get off. Like the more evidence is dropped off that proves his story was true. Well, that's another topic.
yeah, but he's kind
So
of
they
already
were kind of
damaged
smart.
too. He's kind of already
Oh,
damaged
he's
because,
damaged, but I think
yeah,
Disney was like, "Let's see the footage." Ah, damn it, we did this for nothing. Ah,
yeah.
screw it. All right, fine, you can stay in the show. Don't worry about it.
So
That's what happened.
their excuse is going to be, well, we already recorded this before all this happened, so we're going to use the footage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're gonna
Just like,
wait, and then people are gonna be like, "Ah, he's fine again," and he's gonna go back out. Like Mike Tyson with the jail. Like a bunch of people that people did bad things, but he's the opposite.
mhm,
We don't get into his story, but like he's connected to this universe,
yeah,
and he's a big deal. He's the big bad of the universe.
hmm,
Yeah, I think he's gonna show up in the third episode. I think it's the third or fourth episode. He's gonna show up. He's gonna finally see him. But
hmm,
like it's kind of messed up that you have your big bad, the official good guy, or the big guy that you're villain for everything, and you can't use him because this thing is ongoing. But it looks like he was telling the truth, so you're not sure. So
yeah.
like it's a mixture of stuff, man. I don't know.
How?
I was hoping that he wouldn't be guilty or whatever
Yeah.
because I like him. He's a good actor.
Mhm. How is so you have Renslayer and Miss Minutes. Do they like have a relationship or something? I mean, are they
Yeah, in the
dating?
comic books, yeah,
Oh, they're
yes.
dating, really?
Yeah, in the comic books, yeah, they have a relationship. They love hate each other.
Do they have any kids?
I don't know. That I don't know.
you
I
know,
never looked that deep into it,
she's
but
pregnant
I
with
was like, "Oh,
twins.
okay. All right." It
you
makes
know?
sense why everybody's black though, so I was like, "All right, that makes
Yeah.
sense." All right.
So what about Miss Minutes? Like, what's her deal?
That I don't know. I didn't see anything about that.
Is that something totally new to you just based on the comics you've read?
Well, okay. I've only did a cursory glance about
Mhm,
what was going on for the show and who's who. So I'm not really sure too much about Miss Minutes. I was more worried about the actual characters, the people in the show.
mhm.
So I didn't even look up Miss Minutes. I don't know what her character is to the universe or how big she's in Marvel, what it is in Marvel. And that I'm
Wow.
not sure about. 'Cause Marvel's enormous. And the other
It's
problem that you gotta think
mhm,
about with Marvel is there's different timelines.
yeah.
There's like Ultimate Marvel, there's the 646, whatever. I think
Mhm,
616. That's the main timeline is 616. But there's a bunch of different variations of versions of Marvel.
mhm.
So I don't know, maybe. But also this is an old concept. This is not a recent thing that just happened yesterday. This is
Yeah.
like from the 60s, I think, or 50s.
Mhm.
Something like that.
Do you think that that's a very good point. Do you think that it's too complicated because it's just moving around from like century to century, all this sort of stuff? I mean, it's really no cohesion. What do you
Well,
think?
that's when you got good writing, like it kind of helps you along on this kind of stuff.
Right.
Like Game of Thrones was good at that, like doing time jumps and figure out where you are in the world,
Hmm.
and so like just basics. So I think that with Marvel, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's a lot of people and moving parts, whatever. I think they've done an okay job on it so far, but you have the chance to lose yourself because there's so many different universes
It's so
and
much
the variations.
characters. Yeah.
Yeah, like so a perfect example of this is Samuel L. Jackson. He's not in the 616 Marvel. He's a variation on another thing. Because Samuel Jackson is not in the main Marvel timeline. He's in a variation timeline.
Wow.
So like, but they just picked him because he looks cool and he could make him sell more movies with him.
Right.
That's why they did
Make
it.
money. It's so weird how they're just like, hey, we got to make money. Let's put anything out there, and then it's garbage.
You guys sell comic books, man. You gotta do what
That's
you gotta do.
it's almost like Star Trek, where they do a really good job at like time jumping. Like from this time
Mhm,
period to that, they do a really good job with that. Um,
mhm,
Again, I'm not mad at Loki. I love the first season. This season,
mhm.
season number 2, thus far, 2 episodes in, it's not bad. I love the storyline. I love the storytelling. Very
Yeah.
creative. When they do have these fight scenes, like they had when, the three of them, went to where
Mhm.
General Docs and the hunters
The
were. They were
warehouse
just
or
like,
whatever
yeah,
that
in the
thing is.
warehouse. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just like, wow, this is pretty dope. But I remember seeing like some old Marvel movies and with uh
Mhm.
with Loki in it, and like you said, this guy is super strong, and man, he was just
Yeah, he's a
he's all about
force.
this. He was all about destroying stuff in this movie. I only saw a couple, maybe 10 or
Mhm.
15 minutes of it, and that was like the chunk of it, where almost the end, where like Loki was just destroying everything. So he is
Was
super
it Thor or
strong.
the Avengers? What'd you see?
I think it was Thor. Aren't they
I
brothers?
think that no, they're because Thor is Asgardian or whatever, and
Hmm.
Loki is a ice giant thingamajig.
Oh,
He's
okay,
like
okay, okay.
he's supposed to be blue.
Mhm.
He turns his skin color white to look like a regular person to fit in. So he's supposed to be blue.
Wow. Really? So do you think that if he were blue in this like, series, would that really help?
Oh, he's supposed to be a giant and he's supposed to be blue. So those are factors. I don't think that would matter though, because
Hmm.
he's still powerful. Like he's strong. He could throw like regular humans around a room like no big deal, which I'm
Okay,
surprised he hasn't done yet.
based on the powers he has, do you think he's powerful enough to defeat he who knows, or he who remains?
Nah, he can't
No.
defeat him
Okay, okay.
by
So this
himself. No, no.
no,
He
okay.
can cause him a
Mhm,
giant headache
mhm.
and ruin his day, mess up his. But like, this guy fights the Avengers, the whole Avengers, the entire team by himself. So it's not a that's not a good comparison. I think the problem with him is that he's supposed to be the next one after Thanos, like the next big bad after Thanos, but he's not on Thanos level.
Mhm,
He's like he's like a way down there, like kind of thing. Like he's way
mhm.
down here as far as power levels,
Right.
and he's not. I don't think he's as interesting as Thanos was, as far as like a big bad to get everybody together to go deal with him.
Yeah. So if that's the case, do you think that Loki and Sylvie can defeat He Who Remains together?
Nah, nah, he's too
So
powerful. Like, did you watch?
so
You didn't see the Ant Man
how
movie?
will this end? How will this end? I mean, like He Who
They
Remains is
need the whole
coming.
Avengers. They need the Avengers.
Oh wait,
You need
okay, okay.
Thor. You need Iron Man. You need the whole
So
Avengers to deal
you
with
mean to
him.
tell me you think that at some point in Loki, the other Avengers will appear?
Nah, they're not gonna do
Okay,
that.
okay, okay,
This
okay.
thing, but I'm just saying, like, I think because so he's supposed to be a villain that the Avengers have to eventually face off.
Mhm.
So I think this is gonna come to like a stall moment where they're like, it's kind of like we get as close as we can, we can't stop him, kind of thing, and then he goes and talks to the Avengers. But the problem is, Captain America's dead, Iron Man is dead, so like you're missing Avengers that
All
you
those
need.
fools are dead?
Yeah, you know what? Endgame explains a lot, but like there, a lot of these people were dead.
Wow.
So the people you need the most are gone, and so
That
I think
is
you have Hulk, but like he's on this corny thing right now, so he's kind of useless. You need
yeah,
brute force.
yeah.
So the Avengers are not in a good spot right now, and they haven't set the movies up to be in a good spot. They They have Spider-Man right now. That's it. That's all they
Yeah,
got.
I can't do Spider-Man. So,
Captain Marvel, maybe, but yeah, they're missing people.
okay, so check this out, right? So if he who remains is that powerful and one of
Mhm,
them is dead, and now we know that a bunch of them, his twins, his, triplets,
mhm,
everything, they're coming, right?
mhm.
And Loki and
Most
Sylvie
likely it's
can't,
gonna be one at a time, though. It's not gonna be two of them.
right? But regardless, they can't they can't defeat this person, the both of them, right? So what sort of
Yeah.
like havoc is he going to create? He wants to destroy the entire TVA, the entire timeline?
I think he's trying to keep it in place. Like his pictures on the wall. Like I think he's trying to keep the TVA running because you think about it, like he's the one that built the TVA.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I think if anything, he's trying to keep it going and keep these guys on task. I think that they're gonna destroy the TVA themselves at the end of season
Yeah.
2. I guess I don't know. I think they're gonna be the ones to destroy it because he
Yeah.
wants it going. That makes
And
the most sense. He's on the walls, like he's underneath the fabric of the
he has a
company.
statue, the whole nine. And
He's got
Sylvie started this whole
statues.
thing. Sylvie
Mhm.
killed him, or at least we think, and this started the whole thing, huh?
Yeah. This is started the shenanigans, but like, I think that he's the one that's trying to keep the thing going because it benefits him because it
Yeah.
keeps his brothers out the way.
Hmm.
But if you got the timelines, now you got a bunch of them now coming out of nowhere.
Wow, this is crazy, man.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a lot of stuff to get.
It's a
You gotta
lot of
sit
stuff.
down and drink a tea and think
Yeah,
about it.
it's a lot of stuff because this like MCU is so huge. I can't even wrap my head around it, to be honest with you, man. But I do like
Yeah,
Loki.
there's thousands of characters. It's
Yeah.
going on since the 40s, 50s. It's
Wow.
it's a big thing.
It's crazy. So Loki season 2, episode number 2, Breaking
Mhm.
Brad. What are you gonna rate it?
I give it like a 7.5. I think it was
Ooh,
good. Yeah,
7.5. Really?
I think it was good, but like see, like my view of this episode is going to change based on what they do with the show.
Hmm.
Cuz like if this was just basic regular character building but nothing really happens, I'm kind of like, "Eh."
Hmm.
But if this is building up to something huge and the show
Hmm.
is going to get very much more intense, then I'm like, okay, I'll,
Yeah.
I'll throw in the eights. But you know what I'm saying? We got to wait and see. They got to stick the landing.
Yeah. I am going to give this episode a 9.
Mhm.
And it's
That's a
because
wide variation.
yeah, and it's because I just it's the storytelling, it's the writing. The writing is
Mhm.
really good. I said this last week that they have some comic relief going on in here, but it's very
Yeah, but it's
subtle.
not too much.
Right,
It's
it's
very
very
subtle.
subtle.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
And I do like the the mysteriousness of Sylvie, right? There is something
Mhm.
mysterious about her. And again, she can be bratty, but not too much. So I'm not
Yeah.
going to quantize her yet. She hasn't been quantized, you know.
All
And
right.
that
Fair enough.
and
Fair
that's the
enough.
other thing, right? With me now, it's just like if there's a show and no one's like quantized, I'm okay with that. If the writing's good,
Mhm.
everything is good, I'm okay with that. So I'm giving it a
Yeah.
9. Keo gave it a 7.5. Can't wait to the
Mhm.
third episode. There you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.